Hello everyone and welcome to a tutorial with Alexia. Today we're going to be singing and learning The Author by Brandon Lake and Nick Jonas. Super excited about this song and just someone coming to faith or coming back to faith is so cool. I haven't done a tutorial video in a couple years, so I am really rusty on this. Basically, I was learning this song because I was trying to find a video on YouTube that would teach the song and I couldn't find one. So I was like, well, maybe when I figure it out, I'll make one so that other people can have a video that they can learn from. This is for a very niche group of people because I am playing a 12 string and I'm playing it a half step down. So instead of standard tuning in E, or I don't know what the tuning is, but it has the E string, the low E string and the high E string. It's a half step down from that, so it'd be D sharp and then everything following suit from there. And so I play G shapes as if I'm playing the key of G, but I'm actually playing in F sharp because I'm not playing in G itself, if that makes any sense. So what you could do is you could play in the key of G. I can't sing that high and sound good. I tried. So if you can, go for it, girl. And if you want to play in a different key, you totally can. You can capo up. The little lick that'll show you won't be the same, but you could probably figure it out. It's 4 little notes, so it's not too crazy. But it would be different, like placement and everything. And yeah, I mean, that's what I'm working with, so hopefully that's helpful to you if you either tune your guitar down or you just play in the key of G, and it will sound slightly different because I'll be playing a half step lower than you. Let's jump into this song. So like I said, G shapes. The chords that we're going to be playing, and I'll have tabs up here, will be E minor, D, G, C, but you can play C like this, where you know how G is like that, you just move down. And then C is also like this, which is what I have on tabs. And A minor, E minor 7, and D suspended. So as you can see, a couple of those chords are very similar. They're just slightly different because like suspended or a 7th added in there. But yeah, I'll have tabs on the screen as we're going so you know what I'm playing. So the intro is 6 down strums because this is in 6/8 timing. And then a little lick from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you don't have to accent those. You can just play down strums like normal. You can accent them if you wanted to, like on the 1 and 4. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I do for accents is I play all the strings, or all the strings that you should play, but E minor you can play all of them. And then the not accented ones, I just play a couple strings, and then the accent I play all the strings, and then a couple of the strings, and that's how you kind of do accenting. And then we're gonna go into the lick. So I'm playing E minor still, and I'm gonna put my ring finger on the string right underneath it on the same fret. So they're all in a row right next to each other. And then this string, the high E, we're just going to talk in standard tuning because it's too confusing to do all the sharps. So the high E is string 1, and then the low E is string 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as it goes up. So I'm going to talk in that kind of language. So you're going to strum or pluck string 3, 2, and then you're gonna move your middle finger up to the 4th fret and then to the 5th. So if you do that fast enough, it'll sound like that. So again, the third string, second string, and then fourth string. So we'll do that a little bit faster. 3, 2, 4. And one more time, a little bit faster. 3, 2, 4. So all together, that's 6 down strums in that little lick, which will sound like this. And then we'll go right into that first verse. So it's just down strums in this verse. Same with the second verse. So first verse and second verse are mirrored. They're the same exact thing, just different words. So down strums for everything. And then you get to the last line, and it's just diamonds. So open chords. Like that. First, before we get into the verse, let's go back to the intro and go straight into the verse. Picked up the book for the first time in ages. Still washed me clean with the dust on the pages. My life is a story I struggle to write. Diamonds here. Is it one worth telling? Is it one you like? And then we're gonna go into the chorus. In the chorus, there's there's 2 strumming patterns that we do. So we're gonna do the same one that we've been doing, which is all down strums, but like I said, now we're gonna do accents in it. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're gonna move into another strumming pattern that we're gonna use throughout the rest of the song, periodically in different ways. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, ooh, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And so what I like to do is play accented down strums for the beginning of the chorus. Then I go into that strumming pattern, but I only play like about the first half-ish, or like random notes of it. And then I play the full strumming pattern when it says chasing the glory instead of the one, because I like how the music sounds like chasing. So that's why I play it like that there, because that's not what they do in the recording. I think they play the same strumming pattern the whole time. But I just like adding interest to it, especially because I'm one instrument. I'm not playing with a band at the moment. So it just gives it fuller sound. When you're strumming and you're not playing all the notes, make sure to still move your hand. Because something that I learned from a worship leader was that it sounds choppy when you stop and go all the time. And it also helps you keep rhythm when you keep moving your hand. So it might look silly with your hand just moving in the air, not hitting anything, but really people don't think about it because they're just hearing the sound that you're making. So don't think about it too hard. The last line of this, you're gonna do diamonds, which is just ringing open like we did earlier. And then you're gonna hit the guitar for effect. Or you can just let it ring open and not play anything. Let's back up to the last line of the verse. Is it one worth telling? Is it one you like? To down strums, accented. Who am I? Who am I? And you're gonna flip over. So that pattern that I showed you. Am I just a poor preacher's prodigal son, troubled child, running wild, chasing the glory? So now you're doing the full strumming pattern. Who says that I, even I, have something still left to offer? So who am I? Who am I? Oh no, I forgot. So, who am I? Who am I to question the... You hit on pen in the hands of the author. So after that hit on the chorus, you're going to play E minor and the little lick again, just like we did in the intro. And so that's gonna sound the exact same. And then we can sing through the verse too. It's the same, so it's down strums and then diamonds on the last line, just different words. So here we go. Let's do the little lick and then go into it. Like every good story, you learn from the loss. I lost the plot every time I play God. I live in a moment you already wrote. It's proof that I'm someone, yes, someone you love. Oh. So next is the bridge, since we already went over the chorus. And in this, you're going to do the same exact strumming pattern that you've been doing in the chorus. But this time you're going to play muted. So basically what you do is you put this part of your hand on the strings to mute it. So like that. And then what I like to do is I put my fingers together like this as if I'm holding a pick. But I use my fingernail as the pick. So on the down strums, I use my fingernail, and then on up strums, I use my flesh of my finger to hit those strings. So you could totally play with a pick this entire time. I just don't like playing with picks, so I don't for the most part. So you're gonna mute it, and that's gonna, so you're gonna mute it, so that'll sound like, let's say we're playing G. And you'll do that for the first two lines. And then the third line, you'll start doing down strums but muted. And then the fourth line, you'll start doing down strums. You'll continue to do down strums, but you'll play more open, so not as muted. I hit where D suspended should be on that fourth line because it says darkest hour, and I like that because it sounds quieter when I sing it, because like I think of my darkest hour as like depression, and depression is so dark and hopeless and you feel alone and so small in it, so I wanted it to sound quiet and small. And then it goes into what grace is this, which is super loud, and so I just love the contrast. Again, this is not how the song does it. I just thought it was cool, so I added it in here. Let's do that much, and then let's go to what grace is this, because I feel like I talked about a lot and we haven't sang any of it. So let's do the muted pattern that we did in the chorus. So on G. I see trauma, I see worthless, you see something you can work with. I see weakness, I see failure, you see something good on paper. Down strums but still muted. Turn to beauty, I felt heaven working through me. Open it up. Panic, turn to power. Get ready to hit right here. Hour. So then it's going to go into what grace is this, and it's going to be two chords back to back, both of them you hit down 3 times, and then you hit the guitar. Do that again for the second chord, and then you're going to do that pattern that we already know for the next 2 chords. So it's going to sound like this. Down, down, down. So let's sing that. Let's go from I've Seen Panic and then go into that. So that way you can hear the contrast of the little darkest hour to what grace is this? So we're gonna start to open up. So we're gonna start muted and then open up. I've seen panic turn to power, felt your peace in my darkest hour. What grace is this? Call me by name again and again and again and again. What grace is this? Crossed out my shame, forgives me again and again and again and again and again. I love the way that the pattern flows, because it sounds like again and again and again, because we're just doing the same pattern over and over again, and it just makes me think of the words and how beautiful it is what we're singing. So yeah, and then the last chorus, so we're singing again and again and again and again. And then it's gonna be quiet, ringing out on a diamond, and then on D suspended you're gonna start to pick up down strums to C, and then you'll switch over to that pattern that we've been doing. We're gonna go from the last part of the bridge. What grace is this? Crossed out my shame, forgives me again and again and again and again and again. Let it ring. So who am I? Who am I? Start to do down strums. Preacher's prodigal son, troubled child. Start picking it up a little bit. Chasing all the way. Glory instead of the one who says that I. And then we know how the rest of the chorus goes. And then when you go to question the pen in the hands of the author, right after that is an outro, and it just says, I'm inking the pen in the hand of the father, or the author. I mean, father works, but it says author. And I just do the same strumming pattern that we've been doing, and then I let off on it, and the last one I think I just do diamonds. And it ends on C, which I like because it's not resolved. It's supposed to sound a little unresolved, because it's like the tension of I'm the ink and the pen in the hands of the father. Like, I understand my role, but it's hard. And that's what's cool about the way that they ended this song, or at least how these chords work. You could totally end it on the G if that makes you feel happy to have it resolved, but I just think there's beauty in leaving it unresolved. So last line of the chorus, and then we'll go into the ending. Who am I to question the pen in the hands of the author? I'm inking the pen in the hands of the author. I'm inking the pen in the hands of the author. I'm inking the pen in the hands of the author. And congrats! You just learned a song! Woo! That's so exciting. Thank you so much for your patience, and I'm so excited to continue to do videos like this and teach and just have a good time doing music. So thank you so much for the time that you spent watching this, and like I said, if you make a video and you post it, please tag me. I would love to see it. So until next time.